Hey there, you might be looking to build a website for a doctor's office, a private practice, a dentist's office, one of these type medical professionals. And I've built more than a few of those in my 15 years as a web designer, and I've poured a lot of that knowledge into this new Squarespace template. It's called Practitioner. It's for all things medical. It has a few unique features that honestly, even if you don't use this template, you could use as you're DIYing it, as you're building your own. So I'm going to take you through those, and you might get a few good ideas. This is the homepage, just designed to give an overview of the practice, high level, list of services, bring in some reviews, and then of course, contact info. One thing I've noticed with doctors' offices is they deal a lot and think a lot about HIPAA related info issues, right? So as a medical practitioner, you have some serious restrictions on how you handle patient data. One of the things I've done with this template is I have not built a contact form. And that's intentional because if you have people reaching out to you through your contact form, that's another place where you're storing data. Squarespace, as far as I know, is not HIPAA compliant. You can't make some kind of HIPAA specific data agreement with them. So if you're a medical practitioner, you're probably better off funneling people through whatever your patient portal is. So right here at the top, I've built patient portal button that then you could set up to link straight out to your patient portal, and that can be where all client communication happens. Most practices I know do let people call in, of course, and so the call options are represented as well as the basic navigation stuff. But yeah, patient portal link rather than contact form is probably the way to go. I've got a nice footer here using a custom code section here that shows all of your important contact info. Again, I know some doctors who don't even put a practice email on the website because they don't want patients contacting them through email. You could take that off if you want. But you've got a large, easy to read, really clean footer, and the most recent blog post, the most recent practice news automatically shows up there in your footer. Links to socials, again, if you do that, not all doctors do. A link to leave a review. I'll show that page later. A HIPAA info link, privacy policy, terms of use. So there's also an about page that has more info about the practice itself, and then a nice grid block with links out to each of the profiles for the staff on your page. This is an unusual, for Squarespace, blog layout. It has the featured image on the left and then the blog content on the right. Really clean, really strong. On regular Squarespace blogs, there's no native way to display the image in a nice big way like this. So I'm pretty happy with that and how that looks. And that same format is used on the blog page. If you have practice news, if you want to share time-sensitive information with patients and with your community, it automatically loads your featured image on the left side and then the content of the post on the right. So I've shown you the homepage, the about page, the news page. This policies page is something I put a lot of thought into, and most doctors' offices, dentist offices, whatever, have a lot of policies, and they're constantly referring their patients to those policies. But often they're in like a PDF or some other, let's just say not mobile responsive format, certainly, but also hard to access or interact with. What I've done here is create a long scroll page with sections for each different type of policy, breaks it up, makes it a little bit easier to read, and has this nice dynamic sidebar navigation where when they load up the page, they can click on any one of these items and scroll straight to it. So this is a great time saver for your staff. If you've got all your policies on one page and you can just point people to that page, it will hopefully reduce the amount of questions that you get over and over again. I've also created a HIPAA policy page. So this was a special client request on a site I did a while back that I thought was really smart. So there's regular privacy policies, which every website should have. I use Termageddon for mine, and so I put some info about that and why privacy policies are important. There's a nice place for your website privacy policy and your website terms of use, which is another legal page that every website should have. But for medical professionals in particular, a HIPAA page, a HIPAA notice, is also important. And what I've done here is taken a common plain language version of patient rights and responsibilities according to HIPAA and put that in this clean long scroll page that has all of the core HIPAA info right there on it. And you could also link to a PDF version of the same. But yeah, that's the HIPAA page. Kind of important if you're dealing with people's medical information. There's a Visit Us page that breaks down all the things you need to know in order to actually visit the practice. It's good for, of course, existing patients who've forgotten the info, but also for new patients. The telephone links are clickable tel links. The address is a clickable map link. You can put a directions link right there as well. It's got a nice map embed with a subtle little shadow there. A lot of the images use those rounded corners and the subtle shadow effect. The new patients button in the top here links to the Visit Us page, which is what new patients need to know in order to be able to reach out. I pointed out the Leave a Review page earlier. So that's a page that you can send directly to your patients. This depends on whether you're allowed to ask patients directly for a review or not, but I don't think there's any law against having a Leave a Review link on your website. And so this page is designed to encourage patients to leave reviews. So you could link to your Google listing, your Facebook page, your doctor links on Health Grades or Vitals or whatever the important third-party review sites are in your industry. You can link out to those. Then all you have to do is direct people to this link and they can choose where they want to leave a review. And there's also a little call to action where if for whatever reason they weren't happy with their experience, you're inviting them to reach out to you about it. Last but not least, we have the resources page. Medical professionals have resources that they recommend to patients over and over again. And what better place to have those recommendations all in one place than your website? This is a regular page that has a summary block here that pulls in posts from a resources blog page. And it's configured in a certain way that you can click on one of these. These are not blog posts that they will read on your site. These are just outbound links to any resources anywhere else in the internet that you want to recommend to your patients. You post them here, and if they click on one of them, it opens it in a new window. So this is an external site that is just linked to directly from the resources page. Pretty cool. It's a super clean site. It's super simple. The color palette is a little more muted than the royal blue that seems to be ubiquitous in medical and dental worlds. It's got some subtle gradients, and it uses throughout a font called Lexend. It's a typeface that was specifically designed for maximum readability. Like you'll notice that the A's are the rounded A, not the fancy A that you see in like a Times New Roman serif or actually a lot of sans serifs too. This typeface is designed for maximum readability. And if you wanted to take your site's accessibility to a whole nother level, there's a tool called Userway, and they sell a lot of things, but they still have a free accessibility widget that you can embed on your website that creates a lot of accessibility controls right there built into your website. So if folks are having any visual or other types of impairments or challenges in interacting with your website, they can use that tool to make the text bigger, to hide the images, a screen reader, they can play with the contrast. There's lots of different options with the Userway widget, and I should probably make a separate video about that. They made it a little harder, just use their free widget, but it's still available. And so that's a great option for your medical practice website. One other fun little detail is a custom cursor, which is just a dot. I have mixed feelings about custom cursors in general. A lot of times they're hokey or make a website more difficult to use, but I do like this simple dot custom cursor that changes colors, changes hover color when it's over links of any kind. So that felt like an extra special little touch that just elevates the site in another way. I hope that gives you some good ideas for building out a medical or dental website. And if you want to get the template, just head on over to the link in the description. It's strongsites.co/practitioner. Have a good one.